shit show and is officially banned off YouTube. I am Turch, and with me is my co-host, the CEO, the daredevil in the studio. It's Kieran. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing well, and I'm glad we're back in the studio. Obviously, we're not going to say what date it is today.
No,
but
you are my accountability buddy.
That's
for
right.
my depression/alcoholism.
That's
and
right.
I needed my doctor in the house.
You needed a professional service, and this is billable hours right now.
Put it on the tab. It's what a business expense. This is the definition of embezzlement.
Oh, okay. So I'm being your social bubble partner, doobacky.
Ugh, what a pain in the ass.
Whatever. I don't know what's going on. Never do know what's going on, but no, it's good to be back. Good to be back in the studio. There's only so much Zoom online stuff.
It's not the same.
You can do.
You know what? It's fun when we're watching conspiracy theories.
It is.
Legally can't do that anymore,
Yeah.
according to the internet.
Yeah.
But we can definitely do these shows here, which is more fun. Anyway, when we are in the studio in this very special, Kieran, do you know what month it is? This month here?
It is. Yes, I do know what month it is.
You do.
And I think I might have said this last time on the podcast. I don't understand why they get a whole month. Some events get a day, some might get a week. A month, look, regardless of what it is,
It's a long time.
a month is a long time.
That
A
is
birthday is only celebrated once a year. Some people try and push it out to a birthday weekend.
yeah, women. You're talking about women. Women.
Some try and push it out to a birthday week. Now, the mistake was made with my niece, who I have to have a little rant about later on.
Please. Just do it now. I'm feeling some
But
rant.
she was about 3, about 7 years ago, and which makes it 10. But her third, when they're 3, they sort of understand the world a little bit more.
Yeah.
And just out of coincidence, she had her birthday, right, where she got her presents. And then the next day, I visit her and give her present. And then the day after, grandmum, because my brother and his wife are shift workers, so it's really hard to try and time up a party and things like that. Anyway, so she thought her birthday
It was like 3 or 4 days.
goes for like a week.
Yep. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's good. But that's good though. Like I think that begins the expectation for when they get older. Like a woman's 21st birthday lasts 2 months. You know what I mean? Like an 18th birthday lasts, there's a whole decade of planning. It's like they're pre-weddings.
Yeah.
Like a wedding, organizing this wedding. A wedding lasts more than a couple of
I remember
hours.
I remember David, a friend of mine, David. I remember turning up to his 16th, right, at his parents' house, and they had a pool. And it was great. Like, I got so fucking shit-faced. There was free-flowing alcohol. I think they were UDLs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I remember it was fucking wild and messy.
Mm-hmm.
Turn up to his 18th, once again, at his parents' place. He obviously lives there, and they've got the pool. And basically, there was this phase that any time I turned up to a party with the pool, I would end up in the pool. It didn't matter what the temperature was. I'm the type of person who's like, let's get this party started.
Yep.
I'm jumping in the pool. So 18th, a lot of people end up in the pool. We're drunk, great. The 16th, that pool, 18th, everyone's in the pool. And then 3 years later, he has his 21st.
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? In my mind, I'm going, I haven't seen him because you grow up a little bit.
Yeah.
You're not quite with your friends all the time. I'm like, it's been a little while. I remember his 16th. What a fucking rocking party that was. His 18th was a rocking party. The 16th, I think, was still a little bit more wild.
Yep.
But I ended up in the pool at the 18th.
I'm proud.
21st, it was like everyone had fucking grown up.
Yeah.
It was a little bit boring.
Ugh.
And I end up in the pool, right? Because I'm like, this is now tradition. No one came in the pool with me.
Well, I don't know what to say, Kieran.
I didn't know you then. If we were at that party together, you would have jumped in the pool.
I would have probably jumped in the pool because I'd still jump in the pool.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I get drunk enough, someone goes, "We should do something stupid," and I'm like, "Well, look, it can only go bad, and if I'm not going to go to prison. Someone can yell at me. I can always towel off and keep drinking.
Yeah.
But if I don't do it, seize those opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I'm the type of person who has never... I haven't bought bathers and I haven't got change of clothes. It's just, let's make this decision and let future Kieran worry about it.
That sounds pretty good.
It does. But anyway, I want to rant about my niece.
Please.
It's her birthday today, so happy birthday. She's 10.
You did.
And it's very good. And it's probably more of a rant about myself, really. Mm-hmm. But I used to be her favourite person in the world. You know, when they're little and they see you and they're so excited. Right? How awesome is it when Uncle Kieran comes over?
Yeah.
You know, feed her sugar, feed her lollies, basically preparing for when she's an adult. You know, I'm going to get her crack, her weed, you know, all the drugs.
Ah, yes.
You know, if she ever got picked up by the police.
Come on, give her some ice. That's what she really needs.
You know, bail her out, you know. And really disappointed that we have this thing called the internet because, you know, how good would it be to buy the first porno mag and you know.
I wouldn't want to buy my niece a porno
No,
mag.
that's probably a nephew thing. But you get what I'm saying, right? I'm trying to be the cool uncle.
Yeah. You're trying.
Yeah. Thank you. And it was her birthday, and I FaceTimed.
Oh, good.
FaceTimed her, and it was a little bit like, you know, happy birthday, and it was a little bit like, why are you appearing on my iPad? Like, why did I get dragged away from my play, whatever I was doing, to now speak to you?
Yeah.
So I wish her a happy birthday. She got a Polaroid camera and a few other gifts,
Nice.
and anyway, she's being polite and sitting there. And my brother goes to her, oh, why don't you take a picture of Uncle Kieran? Because she's got the digital, there's the Polaroid camera, physical.
Yeah.
But there's also a digital Polaroid camera that you can take a screenshot or whatever on their camera, and it goes to the Polaroid printer.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, I don't want to waste my Polaroids.
That's amazing.
I was like, dagger to the heart.
You're done, mate.
And I realized I'm done.
There's definitely a dip. Like, it's the same for my little cousin.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when she's 7 now, and over time,
You've got one good year left.
Yeah, I think
You've got one good year left, and then you're out.
She's sort of like, she loved me.
It's sort of like we're out of the will, you know? Like, that's...
But no, it sort of changes with girls. I think, like, if it was your nephew, it would be alright. Like, you're still a guy, it's all good.
Yeah, my nephew, he's fun. He's 10 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kick the football or something and
It's
we're
all
good.
It's good. But girls sort of, like, shift over. So you're happy, like, with your big uncle or big nephew or whatever it is, and your bigger cousin or whatever it is. And then it sort of shifts over, and my little cousin's shifting over now, where she kind of likes Jess more because she's a girl and she can talk about girl things.
Yeah, like boys.
No, more like she's only 7, but she can talk talk about hair,
lipstick and makeup and
trying on clothes. I'm just sitting there going, I don't really care.
Yeah,
like I just want to smash toys together and help you build Legos.
Yeah.
Like this is all I want.
I want to build a tower.
This is all
with
I know
Lego
how to do
and knock it over.
Yeah, that's all I know how to do. I'm monkey brain, eat banana, build things, lift weights. Like that's all I know.
I gotta admit, building a tower out of Lego and knocking it down. It's fucking brilliant.
Thoroughly entertaining. I'm still doing it these days. With my cousins and stuff like that. But yeah, you do start to feel like you're getting old or too out of the loop, or they say things.
It's like that Simpsons episode.
Yeah,
I no longer know what it is.
Yeah, what it is. That's very.
It has changed.
It has changed. It has changed.
But the funniest thing was that my brother's like, okay, we've got to wrap up because we've got to call. You know, she had to call Pa now.
Yeah.
And she's like, do I have to? And I was like, Maddie, you're on your virtual afternoon tour of talking to the family. You just have to get it done.
I'm amazed the parents just didn't go, get them all in the same room at the same time, like the same Zoom call at the same time. Get it all done. 10 minutes, done, bam.
You're talking to someone who's not organised. Do you think that my brother would be that organised?
No. I thought maybe one of the people in your family might have been. My brother got.
There's clearly a genetic link of unorganisability here.
My
in the
brother
Thorpe
got
family.
the smarts, and I got the looks.
Right.
I mean, out of all the things, some one of us had to suffer for our thing. But Kieran, as I said, this is my rant is multifaceted in a whole bunch of things, and 2 out of my 3 rants are based on this month is LGBTQ Pride Month.
You forgot all the other.
I know.
You forgot the plus.
I know.
And you forgot all the others.
And the A and the I and the 2 and the X. I'm pretty sure it's there. But LGBTQ, right?
That almost sounds like a great sandwich.
I know. LGBTQ.
Lettuce,
Let's get Biden
bacon.
to quit.
What?
Let's get Biden to quit.
Biden?
Wait.
Oh,
Biden.
let's get Biden. Yeah, okay, with you.
Sorry. It wasn't this. In
Sorry,
my head it was
I'm
funny.
salivating on the lettuce, the bacon.
And the quotient. Yeah, look. There's two things I don't get. And I'm going to start with this one here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scrolling through social media.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm subscribed to a couple of products
Right.
on social media. And one of them just happens to be our beautiful interface company, Focusrite.
Focusrite.
Great brand. Does lots of great work. And I see that they've changed their banner to not just be red, their classic red color that they have, but to the LGBTQ flag colors, the rainbow flag.
Right, yeah.
And they said, we are proudly supportive of, inclusive of all these sort of things. So I'm like, I don't know why, but I just felt that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter, whatever. I'm scrolling through Facebook some more.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that my bank,
Yes.
which is HSBC.
Ah, you're with HSBC.
Hong
I
Kong.
was just, I'm looking at changing over to HSBC.
They're quite good. They're quite good.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Like, good products. But this is the thing, right?
Which are also known for a bit of red and black.
They're also known for a bit of red and black.
Yeah.
But they're also known of being part of China.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Chinese government would be too happy with someone changing their logo.
I have to admit, I do not recognise that as HSBC.
Well, there you go.
As the logo.
Okay. So this is the Focusrite one. That's all good as well. Another one that I found when I was scrolling through Twitter is Colgate. And Colgate are also doing the LGBTQ flag
right.
on it, like, as toothpaste on a toothbrush. Right?
So you just think these are companies that are just trying to get free promotion?
Well, you know what? This is what got me thinking, right? Would you buy a product because it said, we support straight white men?
I would buy a product because it's a good product.
It's a good product, So, this is the same boat as I am. Because I'm just watching these commercials going, if I was a gay man or a gay woman, whatever, right? I could identify as whatever I want. So if I identified as a gay man, I put my mindset in the gay man, I'm watching television, and I say Colgate supports gay men or gay people or the LGBTQ community. I'm like, what's that got to do with toothpaste?
See, I
toothbrushes.
could understand, right, the police
Yes.
promoting it, right? Because of their historical abuse of what happened in like the 1960s, 1970s, right?
Yeah.
I understand that.
Perfect.
If Colgate somehow discriminated against gay people, right,
Which they never did.
didn't give them toothpaste or something, and are now
I
sort of
don't
saying,
think anyone...
we have a history, we understand that we have a bad history, and look, we've changed.
But it's even,
I understand
It goes even further than
Yeah.
that. I'm just thinking... So let's go back to like the Colgate one, whatever. Focusrite, I'm like, lots of artists are gay and that are using your product. They would have bought your product even if you didn't put any...
What else is there other than Focusrite that's actually good?
Behringer does a few little things. There's a couple of other audio. I like this one. It's nice and easy, simple to use, right? So going on from that, let's think about the banks. Now, I saw that Westpac...
Banks don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah,
They just want your money.
They just want your money. So you could pretend to be a dinosaur, but if you're making money, they'll loan you money so you can pay it back. And if you can't pay it back,
They'll take all your stuff.
You could be a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Or you could be the gayest man ever, or the lesbianest woman ever, or you could be transitioning.
They're still taking all your stuff.
They're still taking all your stuff, no matter what you are. And I'm just thinking to myself, a gay and lesbian or people in that LGBTQ community looking at these ads and going, oh, I will bank with Westpac or HSBC because they changed their logo during the 1 month of the year that's dedicated to LGBTQ community causes. And only because of that reason. I cannot...
Are they donating money?
Yeah.
To the organisations that might support.
I go this as well, right?
Yeah.
I support, like, if I'm going to give to a charity, like, the only charities I really give to are, like, Guide Dogs Australia, like, things that I really agree with, right? and I feel like they're giving back to the community.
Yeah.
And obviously, like Guide Dogs, great cause, really good. If Guide Dogs of Australia was supported by a company, I don't. No matter what it is, it's still that aspect of their product line. Them donating to a charity that I like wouldn't affect if I'm going to buy the product. So if
and I got to admit, when it comes to a bank, I'm looking for the cheapest
option. Yeah.
I really don't have any sentiment to a bank.
Look, you know what?
I've got this home loan.
I've got this home loan.
And this one's offering half a percentage point better.
Less.
I'm going to the other one.
I'm going to go with the one that's higher because they put the flag up.
Yeah,
no one in the history of the world has ever done that. So after all of that, I was like, okay, that's ridiculous. That's all ridiculous. The
thing I find very interesting, and I don't understand this yet. I'm all for the Mardi Gras, right? And I think it's great that the companies and support their colleagues and they go there and they celebrate and they have a great weekend. But Pride Month isn't when Mardi Gras is.
No.
So I feel like there's a little bit of double dipping here.
I think it is. But look, Kieran, going on this, because I'm going to talk about some other LGBT.
I could be very wrong here, and please send in some hate mail. I
found my favorite company that decided to change their logo.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm going to show you the picture, and you can read out what this company did to their profile picture.
Okay, they're a defense company.
What are they called?
They're called Raytheon Missiles and Defense.
Perfect. So Raytheon Missile Defense decided to change their logo to support the LGBTQ community. Now,
are any of them talking to the LGBT community?
So, I don't know. Look, for all the LGBTQ people that didn't know that Raytheon was doing this, I'm just going to let you know a little bit of what Raytheon is doing to help to support the community. What do? Raytheon Missile Defense provides the industry's most advanced end-to-end solution to detect, track, and engage threats. What they do air warfare, counter UAS, missile defense, land and naval warfare, integrated sustainment, and hypersonics, which is about weapons that travel in excess of 5 times the speed of sound, covering vast distances in minutes. And they have careers available in 2 places. Mm-hmm. And this is the bit that was the kicker to me. They changed their logo. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. They got careers in the USA. Fantastic. And Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
I guarantee
Well, good luck with Saudi Arabia.
I guarantee one of those places is not as so accepting of the LGBTQ lifestyle that they're promoting that they sponsor.
Yeah.
So I don't understand it. If you need a company to say that they're virtuous to buy the product, I think that you've probably got too much disposable income.
Yeah. What did I hear someone say the other day? It's not just this, but all to do with like the some of the different social issues that people are complaining about.
Yeah.
The vast variety of social issues that individuals are complaining about. And I was just, I broke down in tears of laughter. Like, it was so funny. Yeah. They just go, we need another war.
Yeah. It's got to give someone something to fight about. So, otherwise, we probably wouldn't have this podcast, to be honest. But let me continue on with this LGBTQ Pride Month, right? Fantastic. And one of the things that you brought up was Mardi Gras, which is a big celebration in Sydney. And there's lots of
different places around the world.
Different places around the world. So let's go with that.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've noticed, maybe I'm becoming definitely more conservative, but one thing I don't understand at those Pride marches are the children that go to those Pride marches. Mm-hmm. Because there's no other sexuality. Like, that's what the Pride Month, it's about displaying your sexuality and being proud of your sexuality.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more than that. I think it's also the understanding that back in the 1970s, when they tried to march, they got beaten up and arrested. Right?
I'll give you that.
And that now
so 50 years has gone by.
Yeah, and now that you're allowed to, you're in a way you're allowed to be who you want to be.
Good, yeah.
That's
fine.
The police aren't going to arrest you.
Okay, so what is what makes a gay person a gay person? What makes a gay male a gay male more than anything else?
Oh, wow.
What would be the definition? If you had to describe what a gay person does that a straight person doesn't do, what would you think that is? Dick in the butt, right? So realistically, you're going to this to celebrate that. And that's fine. I'm up for guys, if they want dicks in the butts or putting dicks in other men's butts with consent, perfectly fine with that. But I think it's really weird to bring children along and go, hey, look at these men. Why are they celebrating? Well, they're celebrating that they're gay. What does that mean? Well, realistically, it means they like the dick in the butt.
Do you have that much... do you think kids are that smart to make those connections? That's a second-order level of thinking there.
Well, some of them would.
Yeah.
I think a 10-year-old might ask some of those questions.
10 is about the time when you're like, oh my God, my parents had sex.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was created.
And I think probably about...
Which is probably, it's a good thing. I think those things should be encouraged.
Probably 7 to 8 onwards. That's 7 to 12, just before high school. Maybe year 3 onwards, to year grade 6, maybe year 7, is when you're probably going to these things still probably not ready for that understanding of sexuality in that way.
Yeah, right.
Because you're probably just... I may
They're
be
probably...
wrong.
It's like me when I listen... You know there's different songs out there.
Yeah.
And they got good tunes, and you're a kid, and you don't actually understand what they mean.
Yeah.
I think it's like that.
I think it is like that to a degree, but it comes a stage where you're probably going to ask questions.
Yeah.
And that it's like when you ask the songs, you go, wait a minute, what does that?
But you're a libertarian, so you can let the parents take their own kids there.
The parents should be responsible, absolutely. But I think it's like, look, I talk to Jess and she watches RuPaul's Drag Race. And all the time. And one of the things is that more and more kids are getting shown drag queens in general. Now, on the television show, it's really PG. Still an M-rated show, but it's very PG to what they would be apparently. Jess has seen a couple of drag shows. Not really for children. You know what I mean? It's like going and say, hey, my child really likes comedy, really likes Jim Carrey and The Grinch. I'm going to take him to see Bill Burr.
Yeah,
it's
okay,
probably
I'm
not
that. Yeah.
It's probably
or
not
Jim Jeffries.
Or Jim Jeffries. Probably not.
There's some comedians that should only play in venues that serve alcohol to people because they're 18 plus.
And that's what drag shows are like as well. So introducing your children early on. Look, you're a parent. I understand. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but it just.
What about the Real Housewives? Never really watched that, but I just don't think that's appropriate for kids.
No, exactly right. There's definitely things that are not appropriate for kids. But I'm just talking about this Pride Month and taking them to a parade where the whole point of it is to show people are proud and everyone's accepting of dick in the butt.
Yeah, but dick in the butt happens after the parade.
Yeah, but that's what they're celebrating. They're walking towards the dick in the butt.
No, it's a pre-dick in the butt.
It's a pre-dick. This is the
which is acceptable. It is the not Jim Jeffries. It is the Jim Carrey, and then the kids go home. And then they continue celebrating.
It's the dick in the butt.
And we move to the Bill Burr and the Jim Jeffries.
That's fine. But I just think there is a limit. And I don't know where that is yet. And I'm happy for, obviously, parents to make that decision. But it's weird to see pictures of, like, children and those guys in, like, the dog costumes. Like, I wouldn't let my kids around a furry.
Right.
I feel like they're not ready for that yet. I probably wouldn't, let my kid around a guy who I know is wearing a diaper. Like, no offense to the people before we interviewed. Maybe I'm just naive like that. But as an adult, I'd be like, yeah, just go 15 and onwards. That's when that sort of stuff happens. Because that's when you've had enough of the internet to know. Like, yeah, well,
I still think at 15... Look, maybe I'm a little bit naive here too. I'm hoping that 15 is you're still finding out a lot of stuff. I hope they haven't found out about... because we were really at the beginning of the internet and exploring it for porn.
Yes.
We were not at the cutting edge. And I feel with the technological savvy of kids these days, they might have access to it a hell of a lot earlier.
You know what, though? I don't think there's going to be much porn on the internet by the time we have children.
Really?
Well, they've already tried to cut down Pornhub. And it's so hard to get on. You couldn't go on 4chan for a while. And it's...
Porn and prostitutes are the oldest industry in the world. They're not going away.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But that's it. I've only got one more rant. I don't know if this is anything, but I think just shitty delivering services.
So basically, what I just want to make sure I've got correct, this is not a show for kids to listen to while you're driving your car.
I wouldn't say so. I probably wouldn't.
Unless you're 15 and older.
Yeah, that's a good age. You know, it's a good... When you start to understand some of my jokes and some of my Simpsons references, I think that's when you're actually old enough. Okay, I'm going to show you a picture. So I was driving to go get some groceries with Jess. Mm-hmm. And we pull up behind a delivery van for Australia Post. And I'm like, Jess, can you take a photo of this? Because this needs to go onto the podcast. Okay.
So delivery van.
Okay, here you go. Take the phone. Have a look at that.
That is not packed well. That is, I drive for delivery post. They've cut my shift from full-time down to 3 days a week. Fuck you. I'm chucking everything in the back. I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care if it turns up and your package is broken. Not my problem.
How amazing is that? I saw that. I'm like, that is ridiculous.
He's going to open the door and they're all going to fall out.
I know.
How is he going to find the parcel for the... Shouldn't there be an order to this?
I don't understand. Like, I'm just driving behind like, that can't be real. Like... Can't be real.
That has to go on the Facebook page.
That has to go on the Facebook page for sure. It's got their license plate number and everything. But amazing. Like it's like you threw everything in the closet.
Yeah.
And then
shut the door.
Shut the door. And someone else is gonna come and open it, and like a cartoon, everything's gonna fall on it. Amazing.
Oh,
it's unreal, eh?
That is absolutely unreal.
So if your parcels get broken, I'll have to share the photos somewhere.
Well, I don't get anything through Australia Post. It's all the Amazon now.
I know, it's true. It's true. That's it. That's all the rants. That's all the rants I've got. You got some news?
I do. The dumbest guy in Congress asks U.S. Forest Service if it can change Moon's orbit.
Wow. Wow.
I know. Republican Louis Gohmert, who admitted recently that some consider him the dumbest guy in Congress, appears intent on proving those people right.
Good for him.
On Tuesday, the Republican asked a representative of the U.S. Forest Service to... I feel like this is the equivalent of our Pauline Hanson.
Yeah.
Tasked with managing America's national forest and grasslands, if the agency might consider branching out. I understand from what's been testified to the Forest Service, you want very much to work on the issue of climate change. He... blah, 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 blah. And then he asked if they could do anything to change the course of the moon's orbit or the Earth's orbit around the sun.
I mean, I don't know.
Following on with, obviously, that would have profound effects on our climate.
You know what?
So not only that...
I've been watching Ancient Aliens for many years.
Yeah.
And every time I watch it, I find some more golden nuggets of information, right? And one of the episodes is about how all the ancient landmarks, you can draw a line and connect them up.
Yeah, you can draw a line. Of course you can draw a line between them all and connect them up.
Connect them up. But like, it ends up being like 15 hemispheres, like it's sort of, like, you know. And they're like, why did they build these ancient monuments on the lines, like, you know, and make these lines?
Yeah.
And they go, because the aliens wanted to put signposts around the world to navigate the Earth.
Uh-huh.
And this left me baffled for many reasons, right? Because I'm just thinking, okay, so you've got this hyper-intelligent race of aliens that are smart enough to understand how to build hyperspace-type vehicles, navigate the universe, and fly to Earth, not only once, but many hundreds of times during the course of of Earth's history, especially when people were here. Not only that, we're able to keep mostly hidden themselves from the Earth's artistic work, written work, language, all that sort of stuff. Enough that we still don't know if they actually were there. But what you needed on Earth, with all this technology you have, were individual landmarks to navigate your way around.
Which are all different landmarks.
They're all different, and they don't really seem to have a connection apart from this big line that you can somehow draw around the Earth. Now, this is that logic that really like people like the Dunning-Kruger effect have. At least this guy here's like, I don't even know. Can we?
Yeah.
At least he's honest about it. At least he's honest about being dumb. On the other end of the spectrum is these ancient alien guys who go, this is exactly how the aliens are working. They need navigation points on Earth to travel around the Earth. At least this guy's like, can we move the Earth? If we move the moon, can we do it? At least he's asking the questions.
Well, the correct answer is no, not yet.
No, that's exactly right.
No, not yet.
Exactly.
Look, it may not be a stupid question.
Can you build a freeze ray?
Look,
well, not now.
Can we continue polluting the Earth and just move us a little bit out, change the orbit a little bit?
I think I brought this onto the show before.
We'll add a few extra days
there used to
in
be
the year.
Futurist that claimed that we could only have like 500 million people on Earth. Or when they were still using horses in London, that London would be so full of horse shit.
Yeah.
It would overflow London. And then like 10 years later, the car was invented.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same sort of stupidity across the board. It's just people hoping for the best and expecting the worst.
I love the question.
It's a great question. You gotta, yes, he's very stupid question. Like, you know, they always say there's no stupid questions.
Yeah, well, there are
definitely stupid questions.
There are stupid questions.
But I think
it's a little bit like when you're playing poker.
Yeah.
If you don't know who the pansy is, it's you, right? If you don't know if you're asking a stupid question,
you are.
You are the person asking the stupid question.
But he's trying. You know, he may not. You know, he's a Republican. Most Republicans are like, I'm not for.
Hey, at least
he's acknowledging that there's climate change and he's trying to help.
At least,
how much more can the man do?
And at least it's representative of the American population. There have to be a few idiots in Congress.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, we've got a whole parliament full of
idiots.
Would
you support me if I ever became a politician?
Yeah,
Turch?
absolutely. I think we'd have to somehow run together in a way.
Yeah, well, would you run as well, or would you go, Kieran's running, but you're going to be my chief of staff?
I would,
which would have an enormous amount of power because you would have power over my scheduling, my appearances.
I would still run.
You would run too.
I would run too. That way, if one of us won and one of us didn't, we could help each other out.
Okay.
If none of us won, who cares? We just continue the podcast.
Yeah.
But if one of us won, we had that connection.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Got it.
This is hedging all your bets and losing.
Right. I could see you in politics. I could see myself in politics, Turch.
Well, that's good.
You know, not doing much.
That's good.
Well,
that's what they're doing, aren't they?
You know,
I think the perfect politician is one that goes into politics and just wants to do one thing his whole career.
Sleep.
No. What? No. He or she wants to do one thing. If he goes, the sex party in Australia was the perfect party.
Yeah.
Because they had two goals.
Yeah.
They said legalize gay marriage and legalize marijuana.
Yeah.
And they've come in. They haven't really done too much, but gay marriage got legalized.
Yeah.
They've accomplished 50% of what they set out to do.
That's amazing. That's very
and
good.
that is better than 99% of all politicians, all parties out there. And because they've done that, they will accomplish more than the Greens Party will ever accomplish in their 150 million a year history.
Wow, are you giving them that long?
Well, you know, they think they're going to live that long.
Oh, okay.
As long as the Earth has still
I'm not even thinking that far ahead. I'm thinking about the lunches that I would have, the dinners that I would have, the yelling that I would get to do in question time.
It's true.
True. And our question time is brilliant because it's a thing where if we were on opposition, right, I could get up and yell at you, and you would get up and yell at me because it's theatrics, and then we'd go to the pub for lunch.
It's all for show.
I know.
It's all for show. It's all dicks in the butt.
All right, what do you have for us, Turch?
Okay. We've all been busy during quarantine, especially our musician friends. They've been writing new songs, working in the studio, doing this, doing that, working very hard.
I got to admit, right, for the lockdown, especially if it's just a week, that's sort of fine. Anything longer than that, it gets a little bit crazy. But what an excuse to take all the drugs and have a party at home. Oh my God.
Perfect.
Is that a
blessing in disguise?
Is that just a blessing?
Blessing in disguise for sure.
Yeah.
Very expensive blessing in disguise, but it's something.
It is. I'm like, you can have a week of your own holiday.
That's very true. But one of the artists that's working very hard
Yeah.
is Billie Eilish.
And Billy had this song that was quite popular last year.
That's right.
Bad Guy.
That's right. So
I feel like with the way that I can announce these artists and songs, I should go on the radio.
you should have gone on Australian Musicians Radio on Bar Talk, which we just were on. It was released yesterday, Thursday.
Yeah.
They released the same day we do. They're
Wow.
a 100% direct competition. And yet we came on your show, Dan. And probably ruined it forever. But there we go. So go listen to Australian Musicians Radio. Bar Talk
what
with
did
Dan.
I call it? Australian Music Radio.
You called it AMR.
Did I?
Yeah, it's close enough. But Bar Talk is the show that we went on. It's great.
Yeah, Bar Talk, and we probably ruined it, and
Yeah,
we'll never
well.
be invited back.
I-
But it's fun.
You know what? I've said that every time I've been on.
Yeah.
And I'm still invited back. So that's something there. But Billie Eilish worked on... So this is the headline. Billie Eilish worked on a new song during quarantine. And that's what it said on Twitter as well, right? That was the article. And, yeah, Billie Eilish wrote a whole song in its entirety during quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, it's been like... Let's just say a year. A year of quarantine. She's in the US.
Yeah.
A year in quarantine.
Uh-huh.
And all you've got is a bunch of musical instruments around you, and you're a musical artist, and all you do is write songs. One song during that time.
Turch.
Okay.
Some of the best creative people only did one painting every 10 years.
That's true. Paintings are different to songs. Especially if you're an artist that needs to release an album every 2 years to be viable in this market, right?
Maybe. But what I'm saying is, maybe it was too quick.
Maybe. So I thought to myself, look, I like music. And I know lots of musicians. What are other musicians doing? What have other musicians done in that time? Now, Foo Fighters have released an album full of tracks. But I'm going to go back, and have a look at some of the artists I really like. Like even Offspring got back together. Mastodon released some new stuff. Ghost, good music has come out, right?
Got it. Right. Good.
But in that time, one of my favorite musicians of all time is Buckethead, and he has been releasing albums under his series of albums called the Pike series.
The Pike series, right?
And since the start of 2020, he's released 19 albums of music, basically one every month and a half up until this point.
That's pretty good.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
Machine of a player, machine of a... Okay, fantastic. What a legend. And they're all pretty good. Because I've listened to most of them. There's a lot of music to listen to and appreciate.
And it's a bell curve. Some are going to be shit. Some are going to be
Exactly.
fucking amazing. Most of them are going to be great.
And I think he just wants to get it all out there. He's a machine. And then I thought to myself, there's only one artist that I know that's just as prolific, if not more prolific, than Buckethead. And that is...
Jamiroquai.
Nah, they sound like something. That is the rapper Viper.
Ah, Mr. Viper.
Have you ever heard of Viper?
I have know the name. I
Okay.
don't know nothing of the music.
So here's an article here. You want to read the head? This is from
This
2014.
rapper has released 347 albums. How many songs are in an album?
Well, okay. Viper is the most prolific songwriter in the history of songwriters, right? Okay, so Viper, this is in 2015. He's released 262 albums this year, or about 3,930 songs. Now, the question is, Kieran,
Yes.
and I know you're asking this,
I
what
am.
does Viper sound like?
I am asking what does Viper sound like?
Lucky, so this is my favorite track by Viper, and it's called...
Have you listened to all 3,000?
I must admit, I've only listed the best of.
Okay.
And it's a very limited best of, because he's... One day I'll have to bring in Viper in his entirety, because he's amazing.
Got it.
But this song is called Y'all Cowards Don't Even Smoke Crack.
What's up for you busters? Yeah. What's up with that? Y'all cowards don't even smoke crack. What's up with that?
This is amazing.
Cowards don't even smoke crack. Hey to you. Don't even smoke crack. Bitch, use a mark. Oh my god. Motherfuck that hoe shit. Pass a G, that stem. I'm about to blaze up. Especially when it's after them. I change the game. Don't get it misunderstood.
It's real.
Hitting it out the glass and the smoke all good. Paint water.
It's fucking amazing.
Good work, got that stick. Stars know I keep it. They on my dick, these niggas sick. But when I do smoke.
We can listen to more Viper because I know that you're gonna.
I do feel like, maybe I'm like at high school and I've put together like a bit of a background soundtrack.
Yeah.
And then it's like, here you go, now make up some lyrics.
Yeah, for sure.
White people only eat cheeseburgers.
Oh, amazing. I knew you'd like Viper. So, Billie Eilish, keep up.
Yeah.
3,900 songs in a year. But they all have to be of that quality. He's amazing. Kieran, you got some more news?
I do. Naked people will once again ride bikes through Philadelphia, but must still wear a mask.
Perfect.
After the COVID-19 pandemic shut down last year's bike ride, the annual Philly Naked Bike Ride. Would you ever do a naked bike ride?
No.
Okay.
I can't imagine ever sitting. I don't want to have my naked body or naked testicles.
I mean,
anywhere
sitting
near
on a bike for a while hurts your ass.
Yeah.
And, at least you still have a bit of padding.
I'm just thinking more than anything else. I don't want my naked balls anywhere near a chain and gear system. That could just, I've seen those bike stacks on the Tour de France before.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but you're also naked.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That would be a problem. Is back. With only one dress requirement, you must wear a mask. Why ride a bike naked for 10 miles, you ask?
Why?
The event aims to promote positive body images and love for cycling, an environmentally friendly mode of transportation, no matter what you are wearing.
Well, you know what? Middle-aged men in lycra are a thing. I don't want a middle-aged man in naked to be a thing for cyclists.
You got to do it once.
I'll do it for fun.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it for 16 kilometers. That's what it is, like for 10 miles, 16 kilometers.
Yeah. You do it for like, what, a K?
Especially in a mask. Imagine, don't even here do you have to wear a mask when you're riding a bike.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I go outside and I don't wear a mask. Yeah, I hate the masks.
Me too.
I'll wear the masks when I have to wear the mask.
Yeah, I could just, in the supermarket, I get it.
I'll wear the mask, yeah.
Doctor's appointment, I get it.
Yeah.
Telehealth. It's all about telehealth.
When I'm in that freedom air, no mask.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
So, I might one day enroll you in a naked bike ride.
Oh, look. Bring a bike up to Phillip Island. Bring two.
Yeah. I've got an e-bike. Perfect.
And, well, as long as you want my sweaty balls on your seat, we're all good.
Yeah, you're not touching...
You know what? If you can, at Phillip Island, if you can find a tandem bike, I'll fucking do it. Done.
All right, tandem bike, and we'll both ride naked.
Well, look, I would like to say that President Biden and Kamala Harris are basically Trump, all rolled into, Trump is them all rolled into one. I'm going to prove something to you. This is a video, and you just hear the audio, but it's from Memeology, one of my favorite YouTube channels, for quick little funny tidbits. Here we go, Kieran. How it started. Trump's anti-immigrant agenda couldn't be more clear. He has separated families, locked children in cages, attempted to end protections for dreamers, tried to spend billions on a wasteful border wall.
Let's be clear. This is a nation founded by immigrants. Unless, you
May
know,
28th, 2019.
your history is of your ancestors being kidnapped and brought over on a slave ship, unless you are Native American, your people are immigrants. And the
This is
idea
May
that we have the
28th,
President of the United States that on this
2019,
issue
yeah.
has vilified a whole group of people. We have always presented ourselves as being a nation of strength with strong arms, that when people are fleeing harm,
This is
we
when she
will
was
embrace them.
campaigning.
Yeah.
But look at what has happened with this administration. There are children who are fleeing murder capitals of the world. Let's be clear about this. Imagine a mother who makes a decision to pay a coyote
Remember
to
when they gave
transport
Trump
her
shit
child
for saying
across the
coyote?
entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril. She does that because she believes for that child to stay where they are is worse. But what does this president do? He virtually looks at those children and says, go back to where you came from.
How it's going. Let's see what's happened now. This is recent.
Kamala Harris tells migrants not to come to US, lays out anti-graft steps.
And I want to emphasize that the goal
This
of
is
our
June
work
7,
is
2021.
to help Guatemalans find hope at home. At the same time, I want to be clear to folks in this region who are thinking about making that dangerous trek to the United States-Mexico border. Do not come. Do not come.
What a backflip.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border. There are legal methods by which migration can and should occur. But we, as one of our priorities, will discourage illegal migration. And I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
Oh.
Can you imagine voting for someone and go, no, they're definitely going to let all these illegal immigrants into the country, and actually thinking that would be the truth? And then, not even 6 months into the presidency, the biggest backflip, gold medal winning
Backflip. The backflip, yeah.
Oh.
Well done. Well done for a
America,
backflip.
America, you did well. You did well with it. Kieran, I listened to. Have you got some more news, or do you want to listen to a podcast that I've been listening to?
All right, I've got two. I'll just
Do a
do
whip around,
do
yeah.
a quick whip around. A Las Vegas woman crushes 3 watermelons in 7.5 seconds for world record.
Amazing.
Very amazing.
What'd she crush it with?
Her hands.
Oh, that's pretty
She
cool.
crushed it, yeah. Florida men were flying to get tacos when small plane went down. They
Have you ever-
rented a small plane.
That's amazing.
To fly and get tacos.
I've seen this interview with. I've seen this interview with Bruce Dickinson. He's the lead singer of Iron Maiden, and he goes, "When you're on tour, you go insane." So he was on tour somewhere, and he goes, "I really want a curry from London. Go get me a curry from London." They were in like another country in Europe, and so he got his people to fly a curry from London to where he was.
It's fucking amazing.
It's insane, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh yeah, great tour. We got back, and then I got like all these expense bills.
Yeah.
And one of them was curry from London, and it was like 10 grand. And he's like, "What the fuck?" But he goes, "I was just so insane on
Yeah,
tour. It's been
yeah.
on tour for like, 18 months, 2 years. I just needed it. And it was the best 10, I'm like, that's how I feel that man was. He's like, fuck it, I need a fucking taco.
I need a taco, and I need it now,
Oh.
and let's go do it.
Kieran, I've been listening to a new podcast, I think I sent it to you, called The Wholesome Whores.
The Wholesome Whores.
And what drew me to this one, it was an Australian podcast about 2 women who are in the sex industry.
Ah.
Very exciting, because it's
Yeah.
legal here.
Yeah.
And we find out a little bit about it. But I thought, this would be an interesting podcast. I thought it'd be good to have a listen perspective. They've got they run OnlyFans accounts now. They've got a few thousand fans on Twitter. All very exciting.
Yeah.
Very good. And I thought this would be interesting. So, the more I listened to it, I listened to 15 minutes of the first episode. They've only got 3. It's a new
Right.
show. And I know our first show is not that good. But god damn it, at least we tried to keep on track.
Mm-hmm.
And there's two things about this show that I think you'll pick up on.
Okay.
And I've tried to find clips that really demonstrate what this show is about. So let's get a demonstration of what the show is.
Hi, I'm Millie Lawrence.
And I am Tash Hamilton.
And you're listening to the Wholesome Horse Podcast.
On today's episode, we're going to tell you about why we got into the industry and what our...
I like it. First,
Can I say a strong opening?
I don't know about that, because listen to how the music ends and then how they keep talking. Usually we try to expand things or the music fades out slowly. Listen to this properly.
And you're listening to the Wholesome Horse Podcast.
On today's episode, we're going to tell you about why we got into the industry and what our first day was
Well,
like.
it's not the end of the world.
It's not. It's
But
very
I'm
new.
very impressed that it has a dooby-doo.
Yeah. So this time they're going to talk about how... This episode is going to show about how they got into the industry.
Uh-huh.
Now, one of them is from Australia, born and raised here. And the other is from a North American country, which she doesn't specify, and has come over here to work in brothels. Okay? So, let's have a listen to why they wanted to be... An interesting thing for me is why people want to become
Right, prostitute. Yeah.
Did you have an idea about the adult industry before you got into it?
Okay, so that's a great question.
Great question.
Great
Fantastic
question. Here we go.
I did because I had watched a TV show called Secret Diary of a Call Girl featuring the beautiful Billie Piper.
I think almost every sex worker our age was probably influenced by that.
In our era.
In our era.
So many people were. So my perception of the adult industry was, something quite glamorous. Quite a healthy sort of perception of the industry. And to be quite honest, my experience has been, I would say, pretty similar to what I saw on the TV show.
Okay, excellent. So, she based her career choice to being a prostitute on a television show that is about Diary of a Call Girl. And in the show, talking to Jess, while she is a prostitute, she's basically an escort. So she would go with attractive men as company.
So an escort's very different to a prostitute.
Very different.
Because my understanding of a prostitute from
Is
the
dick in
TV
the
that I've
vagina.
grown up with, you don't ever want to be a prostitute
No.
working in a brothel
No.
because you don't have freedom and they
No.
keep you in there and they
No,
bring the guys
definitely
in. Yep.
dick in the butt
Yeah,
in the brothel.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas the escort is the high-end,
yeah.
you're going out on the town, etc., etc.
So I'm like, okay, so you watched this show when you were young and you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
How young?
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, so I watched the TV series before I was even 18, so I
Yeah.
knew as soon as I turned 18 that was exactly what I wanted to do. And I remember going to school and telling all my friends, because I was still in high school,
Yeah. What did you tell them?
I would literally just said, I'm like, guys, when I'm 18, I'm going to go and be a prostitute. And I was so excited.
What high hopes this lady has. Great. Look, sex work will work as long as you pay taxes. I don't give a fuck, right? But, can you... So this girl
Yeah.
at 17...
Yeah, but she's seen she's seen this TV
So
show,
wonderful.
and she's seen how wonderful it is.
It is, yeah, It's like watching Mad Men and going, yeah, I definitely want to be in the advertising industry. Or,
yeah.
I watch Fargo and I definitely want to sell cars.
Yeah.
You know?
I've listened to the We Only Do One Take podcast, and
I
I want to be a CEO.
I want to become a podcaster. all of these are true things. Okay, so here's another great question.
Uh-huh.
How was that received?
So it's your friends, how was it received when you told your friends?
Not very well at all. They dumped me straight away.
Insta dump.
friends.
You cannot get away with that being an 18-year-old girl in that era, can you?
So this is 12 years ago.
Yeah.
She's been in the industry for 12 years. So 12 years ago, she told her friends, hey, it was the same age as us, basically.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I'm going to be a prostitute once I turn 18. All her friends who were girls went, no, we don't want to be friends with you.
Yeah.
Now, I think even 12 years ago, that's how old we are. We're 30-ish,
Yeah.
If a friend told us, hey, I want to be a male prostitute
When we're 18.
when we're 18,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm not going to not be friends with you.
Yeah.
I just probably won't tell my mum what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
I
he's still a
think the
good
guys and the girls' approach is very different. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay.
Because my question would be, okay, are we still going to have beers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Just don't whip your dick out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, keep your syphilis over there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I don't know whether she was groomed into. If like some of the words she's saying, especially was so young, there felt like a little bit of grooming.
Right.
But I don't know.
She's probably in the internet chat rooms as a kid.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You have this idea, you have this resolve, you turn 18, and then what do you do?
Yeah, so I literally walked straight into a brothel and asked for a job, and I started working a couple of hours later, and I never looked back. 12 years on, here we are. I don't work in brothels anymore, but I still am very, very alive in the adult industry.
Okay, so she was 18. The day of her 18th birthday, she went to a brothel and got a job at a brothel and started working.
They would have charged premium for her.
Well,
and
okay.
some person would have made a shit ton of money.
Okay, are you ready? Because she tells the story of her first sexual encounter working at a brothel. Now, one of the things that happens in this show is that these two girls here ramble. No one is there like I am with you to keep you on track, right? So, this story is about what she wore
Yeah.
and
I don't want to know.
for first day. Now, I've cut this story down by about 70%.
Okay.
And I'm trying to get it down, okay?
I do remember what I wore because I didn't come prepared. I went in for an interview thinking maybe I'll start in a few days.
Yeah.
However, they got me to start within an hour or so of being there. Yeah. But this girl lent me her gold dress.
How nice of her.
Yeah, she was really, really lovely. I would love to know where she is today, actually.
If you're listening, thank you.
If you're out there, please DM me on Instagram. Oh, God, it was hideous, but,
Okay. Now, that story was cut down by 70% because they went on about, she was a really lovely woman who I met there, and I'm still friends with her.
I'm not this bad, am I?
No,
Good.
not even close. Okay, so let's find out a little bit about her first time and how she got picked.
So I remember, I got booked straight away.
So the first guy you intro to, you got booked by.
Yeah.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
But
As soon as she got there, she's like, yep, you're a prostitute now. Guy comes in, goes, I want you.
Yeah.
Okay?
once I'd done the booking, I kind of realized it's
This is
just
so
sex.
easy.
Like
Yep.
it's not. There's not much more to it. Like
why haven't I been doing it before?
Okay?
Uh-huh.
So she's just like, yeah, it's just sex. So
It's just
straight
sex.
away, she only sees it as nothing else but business.
Just business.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's talk money.
Uh-huh.
That's what you want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
so, my first night I made over $800, and by the time
Wow.
Okay, this story gets better because the next clip is going to really put things in perspective.
Oh, so you're a millionaire, basically.
I felt like it. But the funny thing was, so I went out with it was a Friday night, and
Yeah.
I made that $800 really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, with,
But wait, what did you make from one booking? What did you make from the first booking?
I think my first booking I got paid like $40.
Okay.
What?
Okay. I thought that too. I'm like, wow, $40. Okay, $40. Let's say every booking was $40.
Every booking can't have been $40.
Okay, but let's say every booking was $40.
Yeah, and she made $800.
$800. That's 20 bookings. Before she went out on a Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a lot of jizz.
Yeah.
That's a lot. But let's find out what she had to do for $40.
I was thrilled. I just thought, I can't believe this guy just paid me $40 and all I had to do was suck his dick.
$40 for a blowjob at a brothel.
Wow.
So guys, if you need $40, brothels are technically open in regional Victoria.
Inflation for today,
Let's bump it up to $60.
$60.
Okay. Okay. Here's an interesting thing that they actually said this.
And
Did you blow it on one night?
yeah.
Okay, this is about the money she made with the $800
Uh-huh.
when she went.
And
Did you blow it on one night?
yes, I don't even think I could afford my taxi home from the night out.
Classic 18-year-old, frontal lobe not developed.
So they recognized. So this 18-year-old spent $800 with her friends in one night, couldn't afford the taxi home. And her friend goes, yeah, classic 18-year-olds. Your frontal lobe
Oh no, the contradiction.
is just... but I definitely knew I wanted to be a prostitute. And then this little gem pops up.
Right.
Earn it quick. Blow it
Not
quicker.
yeah. Well, I owed my boyfriend at the time $200.
Yeah, for what?
He lent me $200 to go camping. So I paid him back and then I blew all the money.
Okay, so...
Does her boyfriend know that she's a prostitute?
Well, this was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
12 years ago. So, yeah. So, what she did was she earned $800 from sucking dicks. And then went to her boyfriend, here's your $200 back. I'm going out with the girls of this $600. Amazing. Okay. This is a clip I called... I can't even remember why I called it this. But it's called... Don't let a stupid question get in the way of a crap story. Okay.
I want to know about your first experience in the industry.
Okay, so I was exactly like you. I watched Secret Diary of a Call Girl.
Wait.
Yeah.
Let's also... What country were you in?
Appropriate title of the clip.
Thank you. Okay, this is the girl from... I'm pretty sure she's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
But she says some things that makes me feel like this would just be a horrible person in general.
Okay.
I was like working my horrible minimum wage job. I don't even remember what I was doing. I think it was bussing chicken wings at like...
Bussing chicken
Yeah,
wings.
so you're not even waitressing. You're just picking up people's dirty chicken wings. Like,
Oh.
I'm thinking like, I am too pretty.
Too pretty for
and
this.
too young.
And too witty.
And I remember getting yelled at for like the dumbest stuff. Whatever. We've all worked.
So I was too pretty to work a minimum wage job of picking up chicken, but being a prostitute, perfect amount of prettiness.
Well, you know, if you don't want to be paid minimum wage,
Yeah, it's true. If you want to get $40 to have a random person's penis in your mouth, that's up to you. Okay. Now, this clip here, I'm sure you're picking up some of the characteristics of the show. I've tried to leave them in some of the clips.
I think they charged $100.
Yeah.
And the brothel got 60,
Yeah, I think so too.
and she got 40.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So this is a clip that really, like I said, there's two aspects of the show. One is this type of clip, and the second is what I'll play right at the end. But what do you think so far? What are the two aspects of this show that really stick out to you as what the show sort of entails within the content itself?
It's a show about their prostitute journey.
Correct.
Yeah.
But go away from the content.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to these stories,
Yeah.
and all that, what do you feel that the show is?
Just it's two girls talking.
Yeah, I've got a long clip here,
Uh-huh.
but the long clip aspect of it sums up the show.
Okay.
And then fast forward to when I'm 19 years old and I have a friend. She's currently still in the industry. And she was much smarter and much braver than me. She had racked up a bunch of student debt that her parents were not going to help her pay. Yeah. Yeah, we went to uni. She racked up a bunch of student debt, and her parents ended up kicking her out of the house for an unrelated reason. And she was between a rock and a hard place. She owed the government like 10 grand, and she didn't know how to pay it. So she met a girl who was like, hey, I'm working in an escort agency. She started working in an escort agency, and I just saw how much money she had.
Right.
In retrospect, it wasn't really that much money, but I remember we went to a bar together and our tab was like $100, which...
And she just threw the
And
money
she
down.
just threw the money down, and I was like, oh my god, she's rich.
It's so nice. So, like, when you first get into the industry, like me and you were both young.
Yes.
And, you know, we didn't have rich parents that gave us that much money.
No.
So just having a couple of $100 and going out and ordering food and stuff like that, it's so freeing.
It's so freeing. Like, you know, they say money does not buy happiness, but I really think it does to a...
Okay, what was that clip about?
How they're not paying tax.
Well, there's that. But that clip was meant to be about how she got into the industry. Now, which part of that clip was about how she got into the industry?
Well, I already said it. She watched the call girl thing, and now she's in the industry.
Okay.
Now we're hearing about her in the industry.
Okay, let's continue the story, because I know it was riveting.
Yeah.
job. So my friend was at this escort agency, and I just saw how awesome it was. And I was like, so do you have to just have sex? She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you just have, you get driven to this booking and you
Really?
have sex. And
So they have drivers?
Yeah, so it works differently at home, or like back then it did. I don't know what happens now. So it was like a lot of out calls.
Yeah.
So you'd get picked up, get driven to an out call.
Okay. So all of these words exist in the vocabulary of this person, but they don't actually mean anything in the order that she puts them in.
Okay.
You know? Okay, how's this one? So a sparkle of truth comes out here, and then we'll get back to, the sparkle of truth, right?
It sounds so glamorous, but I know the reality is
Yeah,
often
it
not
sounds so glamorous.
not
but it
as glamorous as it sounds.
Okay, a little bit more around because they don't like a certain... Well, let's continue the story about her getting her first time...
Yeah.
Continue the story, her talking.
So I tied an onion to my belt, which was the style at the time. Now, to take the ferry cost a nickel, and in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 B's for a quarter, you'd say. Now, where were we? Oh, yeah. The important thing was that I had an onion on my belt, which was the style at the time. They didn't have white onions because of the war. The only thing you could get was those big yellow ones.
So anyway, that for me accurately described most of this show. There's only one other thing, and I don't know if you picked it up during the show, and I'm sure someone could do this to our show.
Yeah.
But we have an hour of content. I listened to 15 minutes, and this is what I collected. And I think I'm going to keep this forever and use it when we make jokes on the show.
Uh-huh.
This is a bit
Why am I nervous?
Why am I nervous? And it's not the song.
So wow.
So you can take your pick.
Too pretty for
And
this.
too young
And too witty.
and too point. Death was like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And I think
Right. Well, there we go.
and just talking about.
Lots of laughter in this show. Ladies, stop laughing, or move away from the mic when you laugh, or cut it out. Cut it out completely. Not so good for the show. Anyway, I'm going to listen to the other 2 episodes.
I have to say, I did like it.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
You know what? You say that, but I'm making it interesting.
Oh, look, yeah, maybe you are making
Because
it
when you
interesting.
listen to
I'm
it-
only listening to the good bits that you've got.
You're listening to the good bits in context of me making it. Like, remember that clip?
Because I'm sitting at no joke. I'm sitting going, geez, they sound all right. Like I don't know what your problem is.
Okay, I think the problem is that I didn't remember that clip. I got one more clip. And this is what the show is about, right? And when this is over, you tell me. Don't look at the timers or anything. Tell me how long you think this clip went for.
Do you use that word yourself?
I don't personally use that word, and I'm trying to
Prostitute.
kind of deconstruct why I hate that word so much.
Yeah.
And even though I've worked through a lot of my internalized whorephobia, I don't know that word is still to me kind of like, I've had it hurled at me by a couple,
Yeah.
people in my life. So I think it's just a bit still shocking to me.
Right.
So maybe my journey isn't quite
Okay. How long do you think that clip was?
30 seconds?
It was 24 seconds.
24 seconds.
24 seconds. Now, what happened in that clip?
They don't want to talk about a word?
Yeah, and the word is prostitute. They
Yeah.
don't like being called prostitute.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to listen to the clip again with
No.
that context?
No, I don't.
When making clips for the show, this is what the episode was kind of like. This is what they do like to be called. Call me Ishmael.
Again, you
yeah,
don't
it's
have
true.
to
I
use
like
it.
whore. I like
I like
sex
whore.
worker. I know we're not allowed to say hoe anymore because you said it's a reclaimed
A black sex worker,
black sex worker word.
word.
But I did love that word.
I did as well.
So, it's called the Wholesome Whore. I think you should listen to the episode. Maybe you should listen to episode 2, and you can get clips for episode 2 for next week.
Oh my god, yes.
I think the next episode's about being in a relationship and being a sex worker.
That should be fun to listen to.
She's also got an episode about OnlyFans, and they release it just as frequent or less frequent than we do. That's quality.
Good on her.
But Kieran, that's all I've got for you today. I did.
This has been fun.
Always good, always good. And if you'd like...
Well,
more
I
fun-
just have to say, ladies and gentlemen, also check us out on Australian Music Radio, AMR,
Absolutely.
on the
On
Beer
Bartok.
Report.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good beer report. I thought that was going to last forever. We got through it. We got through
check
it.
it out. We've probably ruined someone's professional... You know what? I struggled with that because I was like, oh shit, it's radio.
Yeah.
We have to pause for music.
Yes.
Like, and we're sort of stuck to time.
Thank God Dan's a good, he keeps us on track
Yeah.
during that show. Because otherwise, I think we just do an hour.
I know, and an hour just goes by, and I'm like,
Exactly.
oh wow, we've done
So
an hour.
definitely listen to us on Australian Musicians Radio.
Because
on the show Bartok.
we spoke for a good hour before we started
Oh, yeah.
the show.
I know.
And that could have been the show.
That could have been the show. But definitely listen to us on Bartok. We're on episode 51. It's very exciting. Emily Rice, I think, was from memory. Was their guest as well, and it was amazing. So definitely go check that out. Did listen to that bit of that episode before we started recording. It's very good stuff. But obviously, if you'd like to get involved in our new podcast venture,
Wikipedia.
Reading Wikipedia podcast or Reading Wikipedia, you can find it on Spotify already and a bunch of other places where you can find podcasts. We've finally made it. It's us reading Wikipedia pages. We've already had a fan submission. So if you'd like to do that, thank you guys. Fantastic submission with the high five. But Kieran's got some things to record.
Yeah, I do.
We've got a bunch of other podcasters helping us with their submissions as well. I'm going to record some more over the weekend and just upload it. But if you'd like to be on a podcast, all you have to do is read a complete page of Wikipedia, any page that you want. Record it on your phone, you send it to readingwikipediapodcast@gmail.com, and we'll put you on our podcast.
That's it.
It's as simple as that. But for all your other wanking needs, make sure you follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Not YouTube anymore.
Boo.
And if you'd like to send us some hate mail, a death threat, or a rant, record it on your phone, or email us at weonlydonetechpodcast@gmail.com. Kieran, so good to see you, buddy boy.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you next.
We're done.
Ha-ha. Here's a little something for you busters. Yeah.
It's Viper.
What's up with that?
Yo, cowards, don't even smoke crack. What's up with that? Yo, cowards, don't even smoke crack. That's great.
I've got a song to listen to on the ride home.